the mountains of South Cotabato and southern Philippines is a fourth-class municipality that is a favorite destination of local and foreign tourists, called Lake Sebu. It is approximately 1,000 meters above sea level. It is bounded by hills and mountains with thick rainforests, which is home to exotic birds, wild boars and deer. In the middle of the immense vegetation are 7 waterfalls, a number of small streams, creeks, rivers, and springs. As one of the most important watershed regions in the Philippines, Lake Sebu is a protected area. The town of Lake Sebu is also home to a freshwater lake of the same name. Indigenous peoples, in particular the Tibolis, are traditional dwellers of the area. It was in this virtual paradise, in the community of gentle and nature-loving indigenous peoples, that ICTUS Premier Multipurpose Cooperative was born 14 years ago. In 1998, 19 young professionals from Surala went to Lake Sebu to help American Catholic missionaries give basic education to the Tibolis. The Passionists had built a school named Santa Cruz Mission School. They developed a special formal and non-formal learning program that integrated the unique cultural heritage of the IPs. Apart from basic education, the Catholic missionaries, together with the lay staff and volunteers, also taught the Tibolis modern farming and fishing. In the course of community work for the indigenous tribe, the young teachers developed a strong bond of friendship that continued even after they left the jobs in the Santa Cruz Mission School. Years later, they were reunited and decided to form a cooperative. The training by Catholic missionaries, which underscored a love for the poor and underprivileged, left an indelible mark because the circle of friends decided to name the cooperative enterprise ICTUS, from the Greek word meaning Christ. ICTUS Premier Cooperative was registered as a multi-purpose cooperative in May 1998 with 19 founding members and paid-up capital of 24,500 pesos. In 2003, the cooperative passed the accreditation for technical assistance under the USAID-funded Credit Union Empowerment and Strengthening ICTUS project under the World Council of Credit Unions, WCCU. The strategic instruction set by WCCU ICTUS is an international standard. It proved key to the improvement of ICTUS Premier's bank operations. As one of the first cooperatives authorized by the Department of Agrarian Reform to extend services to marginal farmers, fishermen, and other sectors needing government assistance, ICTUS Premier had a hand in improving the welfare of indigenous peoples. This was in 2002, when the Philippine government forged bilateral ties with Australia to implement its official bilateral and development assistance, ODA, through the Philippine-Australia Community Assistance Program, PACAP. Australia extended financial aid to poor communities and groups in the Philippines through state agencies like the Department of Agrarian Reform. Under PACAP, the Co-op worked with Lake Sebu residents, including IPs in the reforestation of Lake Cebu's Barangay Talisay, distribution of seedlings and other agricultural implements. Installation of potable water system, as well as providing post-harvest facilities to farmer beneficiaries. The project was successfully completed in 2004. On June 2005, ICTUS passed the WCCU ICTUS test and 5 months later was awarded and branded as a finance organization achieving certified credit union standards, Focus Cooperative. That same year, ICTUS Premier was able to put up its own office building with the help of a grant from the Philippine-German Foundation. The decisive point for ICTUS came after it forged ties with the Mindanao Alliance of Self-Help Society's Southern Philippines Education Cooperative Center, MASSPEC. MASSPEC had successfully developed a customized version of the microbanker called Standard Runtime Edition, which was especially developed to fit the banking operations of cooperatives. With the adoption of the MSRTE, the Co-op's deposit base increased, and with Co-op branding, ICTUS experienced tremendous growth. In 2006, the Co-op amended its bylaws by increasing authorized capital stock from 300,000 pesos to 10 million pesos. It enhanced its policy-making strategy by increasing the number of board of directors from 5 to 9, with jurisdictions covering the area from South Cotabato, Region 12, to provinces in Region 10 of Mindanao. Meanwhile, Victon National, one of the pillars in the Philippine cooperative movement, enabled ICTUS Premier to fully embrace the unique co-op business niche known as CME, that is, creating market economies. In CME's member households are not only consumers but also entrepreneurs at the same time.
I started only in 1 kids, more or less 12,500.8 kilos. So ganon ang aming dapat na maabot sa target ng harvesting sa pod conversion ratio. So I tried to have a loan in ICTUS just only for 15,000. No? For 15,000. So after for how many years? 2004, 2005, 6, 7, and 8. So for 4 years operation, it was already improved and expounded up to the 12 kgs.
From 1 to 12?
1 kgs to 12 because of the financing I have from the ICTUS.
The years from 2007 to 2008 saw the exceptional growth of ICTUS Premier. Members recruited more members, which led to the setting up of the Co-op's first branch in Coronadal City, the capital of South Cotabato. With the cooperative positioning itself in the center of the region, it didn't take long for the other municipalities to join the Co-op bandwagon. In 2008, the Co-op Pinoy ATM was launched in the Tiboli branch, making ICTUS the first Co-op to launch a Co-op-owned and managed ATM service in South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, and Sarangani provinces. With a strong record of growth, the cooperative set out to offer more products and services. Special savings deposit services like Youth Savers, Power Teen Savers, Institutional Pledge, CBU Plus, special savings and ATM services at Tiboli and Lake Sebu were set up. ICTUS also became a byword in input financing, equity loans, small business loans, livelihood, multipurpose, emergency, educational, pension loans, including check rediscounting services, airline ticketing, money transfer services, grocery.
Maayo man ang nahatag nila sa among adire, kaya nakabulig man sa among pamilya o sa among negosyo.
Ang masiling ko lang, dako ginabulig sa ito sa akon. Since 2007 nasunugan ako, nakabulig siya sa akon kay naka-loan ako. Sunod, naging additional capital ko tong loan nga nakuha ko. At least nakabulig-bulig to sa akon nga business.
Magpunta yan sila sa Coop, magsabi na, ay, malaki pala yung naitulong namin. Especially sa mga social services like mortuary, yung aming project or program sa, we call it beneficial savings. Kung during that time na pag namatay ang isang member, the Co-op will give you 50,000 worth of benefits, wherein 20,000 of that will go to the services and the 30,000 is cash portion. So malaking tulong sa member, and yun ang number one na palagi ko naririnig sa mga member, na malaki daw yung naitutulong sa kanila.
The Coop recently engaged in white copra production. A water refilling service was recently opened to meet the growing needs of members. Meanwhile, the Co-op main branch provided outreach service to poor families by extending scholarship programs to deserving high school students, including children of the Tibolis. ICTUS Premier captured numerous awards from 2005 up to 2011, a testimony to its good governance. Everything went well for ICTUS Premier until 2008, when it was tapped again by the Department of Agrarian Reform to handle a grant from the Spanish government. The project entailed the setting up of a solar energy system in the hillside communities of Barangay Bacdulong, Lake Sebu. IPs inhabit the village, but they didn't have access to electric energy. Some 151 solar power sets were distributed to IP beneficiaries. In exchange, they were made to pay a minimal amount for maintenance. The program went smoothly, but later on, the Tibolis stopped making payments. The situation prompted the Department of Agrarian Reform to withdraw 50 solar power units, leaving the rest of the solar power sets under the responsibility of the Co-op. The problem? Put a lot of pressure on the cooperative. The problem could potentially damage the Co-op's financial capability. But on the other hand, it cannot default on the payments without ruining its good name and prestige. Co-op officials decided to make project studies that would utilize the solar power sets, at the same time give benefits to Co-op members and the community. ICTUS Premier General Manager Sergio Aguirre narrates that in 2008, a member offered to sell his 8,000 square meter property located in Barangay Bacdulong near the freshwater lake. Around this time, the lakeside resort town experienced a boom in tourism, and the local government encouraged the private sector to develop tourism-oriented facilities. Realizing that the property was ideal for an ecotourism resort, the board of directors accepted the offer. Co-op members then overwhelmingly approved the project as part of the Co-op's 5-year development plan. Construction of the Eco Resort started in August 2009. 4 different contractors were commissioned to build the main building, the cottages, dormitories, and landscaping of the property. In July 2010, or after 11 months, the Mountain Lake Eco Resort was completed at a cost of 7.2 million pesos. Because the entire 8,000 square meter facility is fully powered by solar energy, their Green Lakeside Resort enhances global efforts in climate change mitigation. The main electric power is used only as backup during bad weather. There is no air conditioning system, as the resort uses natural air for ventilation. The use of natural lighting was also a factor in the overall design of the facility, making the use of electric power during the day nil. There is a catchment for rainwater, which the resort uses for its daily needs like washing and cleaning. The collected rainwater is also being shared with the community. The indigenous people in Barangay Bagdulong used to go down the mountain in order to get water, but with rainwater provided by the catchment, their daily tasks have become lighter. Mountain Lake Eco Resort stands out as the first and only green resort throughout the Philippines. The Coop-owned Lakeside Resort also serves as a showcase for the IP's lifestyle, as walls in the rooms are adorned with brassware and Tiboli wall decor. Beddings and tablecloths are also set in with Tiboli designs. The Eco Resort is equipped with cable TV and is a Wi-Fi zone, which proves that the epoch of centuries past is compatible with modern-day amenities and services. The main hall is a favorite venue for family parties and corporate events. The presence of the Mountain Lake Eco Resort has likewise given Tiboli women living near the facility something to look forward to every day. Because they are skilled at making fashion accessories using indigenous raw materials, their handicraft-like bracelets, earrings, headdresses, and brass belts are a hit with local and foreign tourists. The same with fine clothing using tinalak or hand-woven abaka. It was in the course of constructing the Mountain Lake Eco Resort that ICTUS Premier set out to organize the Tiboli women. Mrs. Alice Urquia, a retired teacher who leads the Coop Gender and Development Sector, said that after the opening of the Eco Resort, the women attended their pre-membership education seminar, PMES, after which they elected officers to lead the Tiboli Women's Organization.
They have to help us beautify this area in their own simple capacity. We have the gardening, we have the cleaning of the surroundings, then giving them a little compensation. So out of that compensation that they have, they set it aside, they place it in a savings. So it was the starting point. Then they use it as their CBU, as an institution. Then later on, again, we also have to encourage them to make use of their skills in handicraft. They have to make some samples. They have to produce their own handicraft, their mga burloloy na tinatawag dito. And that, to make sure that they have market, we ask them to display it here in our resort. Some of it are being displayed now even here, and that others are placed in their houses. When our visitors come over or tourists come to see to visit the resort, or there are retreats that will be set here, retreats, recollections, functions, and all that, they could make use of their handicrafts being sold here.
During important occasions, The Tibolis showcase the beauty and richness of their heritage by presenting cultural numbers like dances and songs before guests. On top of the employment opportunities, the Tibolis also received informal instructions and awareness program on environmental protection. The Coop has likewise made it possible for the Tibolis to interact with mainstream society without losing their identity and culture. The Mountain Lake Eco Resort in Lake Sebu showcases the best practices of ICTUS Premier Multipurpose Cooperative. The Eco Resort facility has become an enduring symbol for Coop members and the community to embrace care for the environment. But to the indigenous peoples whose ancestry bear an innate love and respect for nature, the Green Lakeside Resort represents a new phase in their lives as a people. Engagement with mainstream society has opened their eyes to interesting opportunities in the area of education and job opportunities. A deeper understanding of the IP's beliefs, customs, and tradition as they evolve in the context of modern culture, set in the era of technological advances, pose a huge challenge. But under the mantle of the cooperative system, the indigenous peoples could have already taken the first step in their inexorable march to a better life.